Hello everyone, how are you all? I hope you are all good. So students, in this video we will be discussing important current affairs for the month of November. The session will be quite interesting and important for the competitive exams. Also students, if you are new to our channel and haven't subscribed to us, do subscribe. We are one-stop solution for current affairs. Also share the link of this video with your friends, cousins, relatives, neighbors and let them know about this interesting platform where we make sure to upload the daily current affairs video at 5 a.m. in the morning on regular basis. Then weekly current affairs, monthly current affairs as well as the topic wise uploaded regularly that will give you a better insight and grasp on the content that is happening all around the world that will be beneficial for the competitive exams. Now let's move to the content students. Welcome to AffairsCloud. My name is Vikas Rana. We are one-stop solution for current affairs. You can find our Crack Current Affairs course on our application exclusively for current affairs where you will be getting daily, weekly and monthly current affairs on regular basis. You can use code VIKAS10 to get additional 10% discount while purchasing the course. This video is available both in English and Hindi. The timestamp for both English and Hindi are mentioned in the description of each video. You can contact us on the number provided or mail provided. Also follow us on Telegram and Instagram and the link for the same is provided in the description of each video. Also students, we have started a new initiative that is of handwritten notes. It is helpful to understand the news daily, time saving and very useful for your revision. We aims to cover 15 questions via handwritten notes in upcoming bank exams. These handwritten notes are available on daily current affairs content PDF at our mobile application and website careerscloud.in. Only our Crack Current Affairs subscribers will be able to access these handwritten notes. A sample PDF of the handwritten notes will be available in the description. Let's start with the content. First is where was the 31st edition of the joint Singapore-India Maritime Bilateral Exercise by the name SIMBEX was conducted. Location is being asked of SIMBEX. So SIMBEX was held in Visakhapatnam, Andhra Pradesh. This was the 31st edition of this exercise held between India and Singapore. This exercise was held in two phases, that is the sea phase and harbour phase, and in this INS Shivalik took part. Earlier this exercise was known as Exercise Lion King in 1994, but then it was changed to SIMBEX. Next, which country has recently joined the Asian Development Bank as its 69th member country? So it is Israel that became the member of Asian Development Bank and it is the 69th member country to do so. Next, who among the following were recently awarded the Sakharov Prize for Freedom of Thought 2024 by European Parliament along with Edmundo Gonzalez? So remember first thing that this Sakharov Prize is given by European Parliament and who was honored with this Sakharov Prize? So Maria Corina Machado was honored with Sakharov Prize. And this Sakharov Prize is basically for the freedom of thought, right, that promotes fundamental rights, right, and equality. Next, who has been recently selected to be inducted into the International Tennis Hall of Fame Chess of 2025? So who has been elected here? Name that person who has been elected into the International Tennis Hall of Fame. So among the following here, remember Maria Sharapova, right, along with Bryan brothers were also inducted here. Who are the two Bryan brothers? Bob Bryan and Mike Bryan. Next, name the seventh vessel in the anti-submarine warfare shallow watercraft series that was recently launched by the Indian Navy at L&T in Tamil Nadu. So seventh vessel we are talking about. So seventh is Abhay. Correct? Take a note of this. Which was the fifth and which was the sixth? Fifth was Agre. Sixth was Akshay. Seventh is Abhay. Next, how many sports will feature in the 23rd edition of the Commonwealth Games scheduled to be held in Glasgow, Scotland? So a total of 10 sports will be featuring here, right? Wrestling, badminton, hockey, cricket and shooting, these are the sports that have been dropped from this 23rd edition of the Commonwealth Games. Next,
When is the UN Day annually observed across the globe to commemorate the day the UN Charter entered into a force in 1947? So it is 24th of October. We observe this day as UN Day, that is United Nations Day. And this year in 2024, we observed the 79th anniversary of the UN Day. The theme for this is building a better future together. Next, which country has the largest number of people living in poverty in the world with 234 million people? So, as per the recent report 2024 of the Global Multidimensional Poverty Index. So, this was the 2024 Global Multidimensional Poverty Index that has been released here. And in this, which country has the largest number of people living in poverty? It is our country, India. India has the largest number of people who are living in poverty, that is close to 1.1 billion people. Also, if we talk about this only, as per the report, India with 234 million people, this is we are talking about the global data, right? India 234 million people have the largest number of people who are living in poverty. If we talk about Pakistan, it is 93 million, and globally it is close to 1.1 billion people. Out of 6.1 billion people total, 1.1 billion people are living in poverty. Next, which country has recently hosted the 19th International Conference of Drug Regulatory Authorities in collaboration with the World Health Organization? So it is our India. The conference was held from 14th of October till 18th of October. What is the location? That is Yashobhumi. Yashobhumi is your India International Convention Center, that is in New Delhi. Next, which country hosted the 16th edition of BRICS Summit from 22nd to 23rd of October in 2024? It is Russia, and Russian President Vladimir Putin hosted the 16th edition of BRICS Summit from 22nd to 23rd of October. Even Prime Minister Narendra Modi took part here, and during this BRICS Summit, an interesting and important declaration was signed, that is your Kazan Declaration. Can you tell me in the comment section? This is your homework. What is this Kazan Declaration? We have discussed this multiple times, and Kazan is the location in Russia where this summit was held. So hence Kazan Declaration. You tell me in the homework section that what was this Kazan Declaration, because we have discussed this multiple times. Next, what is the total number of entities in the Reserve Bank of India alert list after adding 13 more firms in the list in October 2024? So, the total number of entities is 80 in the RBI's RBI alert list. Next, who was recently declared as the 6th president of Botswana? So, Duma Boko has been appointed as the 6th president of Botswana. Which ministry has recently launched Gram Panchayat Level Weather Forecasting Initiative in collaboration with India Meteorological Department to provide daily weather updates to Gram Panchayats? So it is Ministry of Panchayati Raj, right? They have launched the Gram Panchayat Level Weather Forecasting Initiative in collaboration with India Meteorological Department that will be providing daily weather updates to Gram Panchayat. And this is the first time that localized weather forecast will be available at the Gram Panchayat level. Next, Ministry of Finance, they have raised the limit of Mudra loan amount under the Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana from current 10 lakh rupees to dash under the new Tarun Plus category. So, they have raised the limit of Mudra loan under this Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana from the current of 10 lakh rupees to 20 lakh rupees under the new Tarun Plus category, and it will be effective from 24th of October 2024. Next, what is the age limit of central government pensioners who are eligible for an additional pension as recently stated by the Ministry of Personal Public Grievances and Pensions? So the age limit here is 80. Next, India and Pakistan, they have recently renewed their agreement on Kartarpur corridor that has been extended until what? So it was ending in 2024. Now it has been extended for 5 more years, that is till 2029. So right option is option 4. Kartarpur corridor, basically it provides visa-free access to the Indian Sikhs pilgrims who wants to visit the Gurdwara Darbar Sahib that is in Kartarpur, Pakistan. Next, which state has recently received a loan of $434.25 million by Asian Development Bank to boost the renewable energy sector. It is Assam state that received the loan worth $434.25 million by Asian Development Bank, and that will be boosting their renewable energy sector capacity. Next, which hockey player has recently announced retirement? So Rani Ramphal has recently announced retirement. Also, she was honored with Padma Shri in 2020, Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratan Award in 2020. Also she received the Arjuna Award in 2016, and she received World Games Athlete of the Year title in 2019.
Next, which award will be replaced by Arjuna Award with effect from 2024? So Dhyanchand Lifetime Achievement Award will be replacing Arjuna Award Lifetime Achievement Award. Correct? Next, which state has the highest share in direct tax revenue in FY24? According to the recent report, how tax simplification has given a necessary fillip to ITR filing by State Bank of India. So it is Maharashtra state, and Maharashtra state, they have retained the top position of almost 38.9% share, whereas Karnataka contributed 11.9% on the second position, and Delhi fell to the third place with 10.4% in the ITR filing. Next, according to recently released report 2024 Global Nature Conservation Index, India has ranked what among 180 countries across the world? India has ranked 176th among the 180 countries across the world. Right? Take a note of that. Luxembourg, it secured the first position. Estonia secured the second position. Denmark secured the third position. Also, consider China here. China, though it is the second largest economy in the world, it stood at 164th position, and our India was on the 176th position. Then next is, which organization has recently mandated the NBFCs to ensure at least 25% of their borrowing they come from the capital market instrument. So this decision has been given by RBI. Next, Padma Shri awardee and chairman of Economic Advisory Council to the Prime Minister, Bibak Debroy, has been passed away, and question asked here is that in which field he was honored with Padma Shri in 2016. Remember this also, that Bibak Debroy, who recently passed away, he was honored with Padma Shri in 2015, and he was honored with this in the field of literature and education. Next is, according to recently released report, WJP Rule of Law Index was released, and World Justice Project, that is WJP Rule of Law, according to them, this is the organization that released it. Question asked is that WJP Rule of Law Index, in this what is the rank of India? So India stands at 79th position among 142 countries across the world in this World Justice Project Rule of Law Index. And this was the this rule of law globally, it has declined for the 7th consecutive time in almost all countries. Which is the country that secured the top position here? It is Denmark that secured the top position, followed by Norway and Finland on the third position. Next, which country has hosted the 27th Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting from 24th to 26th of October? It is Samoa that hosted the 27th Commonwealth Heads of the Government meeting. The theme for this meeting was One Resilient Common Future, Transforming Our Commonwealth. UAE, they have committed nearly how much amount to establish food parks in India to bolster food security for the UAE? So UAE, they have committed nearly $2 billion to establish food parks in India. This will be helping the farmers in India to grow their income. Next thing, one more, remember, UPI will be now partnering with AANI. AANI is the instant payment network of UAE. Also, this will be helping the Indians that are living in UAE. Next, who has recently been awarded the honorary officer of the Order of Fiji by Republic of Fiji? So, Sri Ravi Shankar, he was honored with the honorary office of the Order of Fiji. Right, this is the highest humanitarian civilian award of the government of Fiji, that is your Republic of Fiji, and it was honored to Gurudev Sri Ravi Shankar ji. Next, which company has recently developed an innovative handheld anti-drone gun by the name Vajra Shot? So it is Big Bang Boom Solutions, right? This is a startup, and this is startup based out of Chennai, Tamil Nadu. They have developed this handheld anti-drone gun Vajra shot, and this Vajra shot has been deployed in Indian Army and Indian Air Force. It can kill a drone or make the drone useless if within a range of 4 kilometers. Which state hosted the 17th Urban Mobility India Conference and Exhibition from 25th of October to 27th of October? So which is that state? It is Gujarat. We are talking about the 17th Urban Mobility India Conference, and what is the location where this was held? This was held in Gujarat. Correct. It was Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs that organized this Urban Mobility India Conference 2024, and it was in support with the government of Gujarat and Gujarat Metro Rail Corporation. This was attended by more than 2200 delegates, including more than 50 participants from abroad. Next, one more thing here, remember, it was Bhubaneswar city. Bhubaneswar, that is in Odisha, was awarded with the title of the city with the best public transport system. Next, which country has recently officially decided not to join the China's Belt and Road Initiative? Earlier, it was our India that decided from that they won't be joining the Belt and Road Initiative of China. Correct. And now it is Brazil. And remember, this is also our India is also BRICS country, and Brazil also is a part of BRICS that has decided to not join the BRI infrastructure project of China. This Belt and Road Initiative is also known as by the name New Silk Road. Next, the designation of the Central Nodal Officer under the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act of 1967 was changed from Additional Secretary to which position? It was changed to Joint Secretary. Next is who has been recently named as the Asia's Men International Player of the Year 23 by Asian Football Confederation during the 28th edition of the AFC Annual Award Ceremony in South Korea. So Song Hyang Min, right? He has been named as the Asia's Men's International Player of the Year for the 4th time by the AFC during the 28th edition of the AFC Annual Award. Correct? Take a note of this. And Ellie Carpenter has been named as the Asia's Women International Player of the Year 2023. Next is who has been recently elected as the 47th President of USA. So Donald John Trump has been appointed as the 47th President of USA. Earlier he was also the 45th President of USA. Right? Who was the 46th President, or who he will be succeeding? He will be succeeding Joe Biden. Next, who was recently appointed as the chairman of the SSC? So S. Gopal Krishnan was appointed as the chairman of SSC. He will be succeeding whom? He will be succeeding Rakesh Ranjan. If we talk about V. Umashankar, he has been appointed as the secretary of the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. Vikram Devdutt, he has been appointed as the secretary of the Ministry of Coal. And if we talk about Subrata Gupta, she has been appointed as the secretary to the Ministry of Food Processing and Industries. Next, name the spaceship that was recently launched by the China with 3 astronauts on board. So it is Shenzhou 19, right? This is the spaceship launched by China with 3 astronauts on board, and this will be going to the Tiangong space station that is also of China. Next, which country hosted the 16th meeting of the Conference of the Parties to the Convention on Biological Diversity from 21st of October to 1st of November 2024? If we look at this, it is Colombia, right? Colombia hosted the 16th meeting on CBD COP16 that was held from 21st of October to 1st of November, right? Take a note of this. And during this, Global Ecosystem Atlas was also launched. Next, one more thing, there was a theme for this COP16. What was the theme? Peace with nature. This is the theme that I want you all to take a note of it. Next, according to RBI's half-yearly report released in October, foreign exchange reserves have increased from $646.42 billion to $705.78 billion in September 2024. Next, who has recently received the Mahatma Gandhi Leadership Award in the United Kingdom? So Dara Singh Khurana. right? Dara Singh Khurana, he's an actor, philanthropist, and he received this Mahatma Gandhi Leadership Award. This is for his work towards mental health, right? He worked toward this issue and he has been working it from a very long time. Also, Dara Singh recognized for his significant contribution to the field of arts, and he served as a keynote speaker at the Global Mental Health Summit 2024 that was held at the Oxford University in UK. Next, which city in India has ranked second in the recently released 15th edition of Lonely Planet's Best in Travel list across the world? So it is Puducherry, correct? And this is the city that has ranked the second in the 15th edition of Lonely Planet's Best in Travel list across the world. Kazakhstan has topped the list, correct? Take a note of it. Next, under which mission Namo Drone Didi? This is a scheme providing drones to the women self-help groups with an outlay of 1,261 crore rupees. So under which scheme, under which mission Namo Didi drone scheme is providing these drones? So the name of the mission is Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana National Rural Livelihood Mission. Under this Namo Drone Didi scheme is providing drones to the women self-help groups for the agriculture purpose. Next, which zoological park will become the first zoo in India to receive the IGBC certification, that is Indian Green Building Council certification? It is Durgesh Aranya Zoological Park, that is in the Himachal Pradesh, that will become the first zoo to get this IGBC certification. This IGBC certification is basically that they are working towards the sustainable development goals, they are conserving the environment, they are keeping the biological diversity there safe, and they are promoting the eco-friendly practices there. This entire park has been launched with a budget of 619 crore rupees, and you will be seeing with this that tourism will also increase in the Himachal Pradesh. Next, name the exercise between India and Indonesia that was held in Jakarta, Indonesia recently. It is Garuda Shakti, right? And this was the 9th edition of this exercise held in Jakarta, Indonesia. From Indian side, 25 Indian personnel from the Parachute Regiment took part in this exercise. Next, the Reserve Bank of India recently announced that any entity that is seeking authorization for central counterparty, they should have at least a net worth of 300 crore rupees. Right, minimum 300 crore rupees worth is required. These central counterparties, these are basically, say you are a person here, right, and you want to buy shares or sell shares, and there is a person who want to sell shares, but this person here, CCP, this is your CCP that will be buying from here or selling this person or selling to this person or buying, it will be acting as a mediator. So they should have a minimum wealth of 300 crore rupees here. Next, who has recently reappointed as the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Axis Bank? So Amitabh Chaudhary has been appointed as reappointed as the MD and CEO of Axis Bank Limited. He will be in this position for the next 3 years, right? Next, who has recently won the F1 Brazilian Grand Prix in Sao Paulo, Brazil? So Max Verstappen, right, has won the F1 Brazilian Grand Prix. Correct, take a note of this. And this is the 4th straight F1 title for Max Verstappen and the 8th title for 2024. Next, who has topped the 11th edition of the Huron India Philanthropy list recently released by Edelgive Foundation in partnership with Huron India? So Shiv Nadar, right, he has topped this 11th edition of the Huron India Philanthropy list released by the Edelgive Foundation in partnership with Huron India. Next, who has recently won the International Hockey Federation Men's Player of the Year in Muscat, Oman? So who won it? It was won by Harmanpreet Singh. Correct, take a note of this. Next, which word is selected as the Collins Word of the Year 2024? So which is the Collins Word of the Year 2024? It is Brett. Brett is basically a person who is full of confidence, independent, and Brett basically signifies a person who is or we can say who is too much arrogant, we can say in that word, right, who is full of confidence but in a negative way, right? So this is the word of the year 2024, Collins Word of the Year 2024, Brett. Next, who has recently sworn in as the 51st Chief Justice of India. So, who was the 50th Chief Justice of India? D.Y. Chandrachud ji, Justice D.Y. Chandrachud ji. And who is the 51st here? Justice Sanjeev Khanna. Here, the oath was presided by whom? The oath of the Chief Justice is presided over by Draupadi Murmu ma'am, the President of India. This question can also be asked. In which city India's first Mars and Moon analog mission has been recently launched? This is basically to recreate the similar conditions that we can find on the Moon and Mars. So Leh Ladakh has been chosen the area where India's first Mars and Moon mission has been Mars and Moon analog mission has been launched. Correct, as it is to create similar conditions, because we see in this area the temperature ranges between 15 degrees Celsius to minus 10 degrees Celsius. It has high altitude, low oxygen levels and rocky climate. Next, which institute has recently secured the highest rank in India in the 16th edition of Cochrane Simon World University Asia 2025 list? It is IIT Delhi, right? They have secured the highest rank in India, and this was the 16th edition of the Cochrane Simon World University ranking. If we talk about IIT Bombay, they were at the 48th position. IIT Delhi was at the 44th position. IIT Bombay, they were at the 48th position. IIT Madras at the 56th position. Which was the university that secured the first position here? It is the Peking University of China that secured the first position. Next, the World Bank has approved $200 million, and this loan was approved. This is a loan that was approved for Kerala's, right, Kera project. This Kera project is basically to provide agriculture sector in Kerala a boost, to provide them with technology, with various infrastructure funding that is required, and this will be benefiting more than 4 lakh farmers in Kerala. Next, which city has recently launched 55 satellites into orbit using Soyuz 2.1B rocket, including 2 Iran satellites? So, which is the country? It is Russia that has launched these 55 satellites, out of which 2 are of Iran. Correct, they were launched using the Soyuz 2.1B rocket. Next, name the world's first wooden satellite that was launched into space by Japan from Kennedy Space Center in Florida, USA. What is the name of that wooden satellite? And this is important. This will be testing, or this will be kind of experiment in itself, that we are launching a satellite into space that is wood, right? So can it sustain the radiation there? So everything will be discussed here. So it is LignoSat. This is the name of the wooden satellite, the first wooden satellite launched by Japan in space. Next is, which country is set to host the first international esports championship in 2025? So it is China. It is our India that will be hosting the first international esport championship in 2025, and participants from 150 countries will be participating here. Next, in which state the first ever integrated check post was recently launched on the India-Bhutan border? It is Assam state. Correct, take a note of this. Next, which city has recently emerged as the world's top city brand in the Brand Finance Global City Index 2024? It is London, UK. Right, second position was secured by New York of USA, and third position was of Paris, France. Next, which bank has recently signed $200 million loan with the government of India to provide upgradation of water supply, sanitation, urban mobility and other urban services in Uttarakhand? It is ADB, Asian Development Bank. Correct. And also European Investment Bank will co-finance this project with $191 million. This project will develop transportation, urban mobility, drainage, flood management and overall public services in Haldwani. Next, who has been recently elected as the new Secretary General of International Criminal Police Organization, that is Interpol? So, Valdesi Arquiza, he has been appointed as the new Secretary General of Interpol. Next, name the high-intensity tri-service exercise conducted by Indian Army from 10th to 18th of November. So, exercise conducted by Indian Army. What is the name of that exercise? It is Purvi Prahar. Right, in this exercise you will be seeing Indian Army, Indian Air Force and Indian Navy. All three of them took part here. Here we saw the participation of Rudra helicopters, then M777 Ultra lightweight artillery weapon systems, various swarm drones, right? We saw the participation of these three. And where was this exercise held? Location, it was held in Arunachal Pradesh. Next, which state has recently become the first Indian state to implement a dedicated semiconductor policy? It is Gujarat state, and we also know that Gujarat is the manufacturing hub for semiconductors, right? It is turning out to be a manufacturing hub for semiconductors, and a Gujarat semiconductor policy was launched. It is from 2022 to 2027, where we'll be focusing on the semiconductor growth, the manufacturing of them in India. And Gujarat is the first state to implement such a policy. Also, Gujarat has also launched a Gujarat State Electronics Mission that will ensure the effective implementation of this dedicated semiconductor policy in Gujarat. Next, where was the third edition of India-Australia Joint Military Exercise Austra Hind conducted from 8 to 21st of November? So Austra Hind, as the name suggests, exercise between Australia and our India. And what is the location of this exercise? Where this was held? This third edition. First thing, this is the third edition of this exercise that was held, and the location is Pune, Maharashtra, where this exercise was held. So right option is in Pune, Maharashtra. Next, which country has recently launched their second satellite Zimsat-2 on Soyuz 2.1B spacecraft from Russia? This Soyuz 2.1B, this is a rocket of Russia only, right? And this Zimsat-2, it is of which? Zim means Zimbabwe, right? So Zimbabwe, right option is, this is the second satellite Zimsat-2 of Zimbabwe, and this is an Earth observation satellite. Next, where is Children's Day or Bal Divas annually observed across India? On 14th of November, we observe Children's Day or Bal Divas, and this year it was 135th anniversary of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, on whose birthday we observe this Children's Day. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, he was the first Prime Minister of India, correct? And for his love and affection towards children, this day is observed. Also, Bharat Ratna, that is India's highest civilian award, it was awarded to Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru ji in 1955. Next, what was the allocated budget for the recently launched scheme for strengthening the medical device industry by Union Minister Jagat Prakash Nadda, that is JP Nadda ji? So what was the allocated budget for strengthening the medical device industry so that we can grow this medical device sector in India? So the budget was 500 crore rupees that was allocated. Also, PLI scheme. PLI is your production linked incentive scheme launched by Government of India in 2020, have paved a path, right, where we will be seeing growth and innovation and industrial development in manufacturing of various goods. That is also considered here. Next, name the space tabletop exercise that was recently conducted by Defense Space Agency in New Delhi. The name of the exercise, Antriksh Abhyas, right? And this Defense Space Agency, they successfully conducted this space tabletop exercise Antriksha Abhyas. It was held from 11th to 13th of November in New Delhi, and the main aim of this exercise was basically to focus the discussions on emerging space technologies, right, and also in India's space program. Next, which country has recently received two waterjet propelled fast interceptor craft from the Indian Navy? So which country has received these two waterjet propelled fast interceptor craft, that is your FICs? It is Mozambique, correct? And these FICs were delivered to the Mozambique using which INS? It was INS Ghadial. Next, India has recently signed the host country agreement for establishing the BIMSTEC, that is Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation Energy Center, that is located where? That will be in Bengaluru, Karnataka. So India signed this HCA, host country agreement for establishment of the BIMSTEC Energy Center, that will be in Bengaluru, Karnataka. Next, what is the maximum investment limit for a foreign portfolio investor according to the introduced RBI's operational framework for reclassification of investments by FPIs to FDIs? So the minimum here is, what is the maximum limit for FPI investors? It is 10% of the total paid up capital or fully diluted basis. Next, which book has recently won the 2024 Booker Prize and became the first book set in space to win the award? It is Orbital, right? British author Samantha Harvey has won the Booker Prize for the fiction novel Orbital, that became the first book set in space to win this prize. Also, here Harvey, or let me write the name also, Samantha Harvey. Samantha Harvey. Here remember Samantha Harvey, she became the first woman to win the award since 2019, and she was also awarded with 64,000 US dollar as a prize money. Next, who was recently appointed as the Prime Minister of Mauritius for the third time? So, N. Ramgoolam, that is Naveen Chandra Ramgoolam, has been appointed as the Prime Minister of Mauritius for the third time. Next, who has recently become the youngest rated chess player in the world at the age of 3? Anish Sarkar, right, became the youngest rated chess player in the world at the age of just 3 years, right, and he's Kolkata based. Next, which country has recently signed a memorandum of understanding with India to boost air defense capabilities in India? It is Russia, right? India's Bharat Dynamics Limited and Russia's Rosobor Export ROB of Russia, they together partnered and they have signed a memorandum of understanding where they will be boosting the India's air defense capabilities, and for which India will be procuring Pantsir air defense systems, and it will be procured from Russia. Next, according to the recently released report, World Intellectual Property Indicators, that is WIPO report for 2024, right, it stated that India has ranked what? With 64,480 patent applications, domestic applications comprising over half of 55.2, right? So India stands at the 6th position in the WIPO index, that is your World Intellectual Property Organization's index that talks about the intellectual property rights, right? And India secured 6th position here, right? Take a note of this. Next, RBI extended the deadline to implement the cassette swap mechanism for money replenishment in the ATMs to dash. So it has been extended to 31st of March 2025. This cassette swap mechanism, which these cassettes contains the cash, right, and these are swapped so that new cash can come once it is emptied. So RBI has extended the deadline for this cassette swap mechanism for money replenishment in ATMs, and it has been extended to 31st of March 2025. Next, who has recently secured the top position in the Fortune 100 most powerful people in business 2024 released by Fortune magazine? So Elon Musk, and also remember he has secured, or he is in the now the $300 billion club, and he's the richest person in history. He owns Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, Boring Company. Then he is followed by Jensen Huang, the CEO of Nvidia, on second position, Satya Nadella on the third position in the Fortune 100 most powerful people in business 2024. If we talk about Mukesh Ambani, the chairman of Reliance Industries Limited, he is at the 12th position. Next, who has recently elected as the 13th president of International Hockey Federation? So Mohammad Tayyab Ikram has been appointed as the 13th president of the International Hockey Federation. Next, name the Indian cricketer who recently announced his retirement from all the forms of cricket. So Vridhiman Shah has announced retirement from all the forms of cricket after 20 years of his career. Next, which organization has recently signed a contract with Naval Physical and Oceanographic Laboratory of DRDO for design and construction of acoustic research ship? So this acoustic research ship, right, for its construction and design purposes, right, which organization has signed a contract? It is your GRSC, that is Garden Region Shipbuilders and Engineers Limited. They have recently partnered with the arm, or they have partnered with an arm of DRDO, that is NPOL, Naval Physical and Oceanographic Laboratory, for the development of this acoustic research ship for this design and construction. This contract is worth 490.98 crore rupees. Next, who has recently inaugurated the new Consulate General of India in Brisbane, Australia? So Dr. Subramaniam Jaishankar, that is External Minister of India, External Affairs Minister of India, Dr. S. Jaishankar, has inaugurated the new Consulate General of India in Brisbane, Australia. Next, which country has recently signed a memorandum of intent with the India for the co-development of unicorn mast for fitment on board ships of the Indian Navy. It is Japan country. They have signed this memorandum of intent for the development of this unicorn mast. Right, this initiative will enhance the technological capabilities of Indian Navy and was India's first military technology transfer pact with Japan. So this question can be asked that what is the product for which the first technology transfer pact has been signed with Japan? It is unicorn mast. Next, which banks have been recently designated as the domestic systematically important banks for 2024 by RBI? So which are these banks? They are State Bank of India, HDFC Bank and ICICI Bank. These banks are considered DSIB, that is your domestic systematically important banks. These banks are considered too big to fail, and they must maintain the higher common equity tier 1 capital buffer to ensure the financial stability. Next, according to recently released data by the Ministry of Finance, the cumulative business of public sector banks of year-on-year growth of 11% in the first half of the FY25 reached at how much? It reached at 236 trillion rupees. Next, name the multi-barrel rocket launcher weapon system that has recently completed the flight test of DRDO. It is Pinaka, right? Pinaka is the name of the multi-barrel rocket launcher weapon system, right, that was developed and tested by DRDO. Correct? Take a note of this. This Pinaka system, it will be replacing the Russian Grad BM-21 rocket launcher in the Indian Army. This Pinaka will have a range of 75 kilometers and has a capability to strike within the 10 meter of its target. Next, where was the new butterfly park opened in November 2024? So this new butterfly park, this is located where? At the Pakki Tiger Reserve, that is in Arunachal Pradesh. Right? Next, which organization stepped into its 50th year of inception on the 1st of November 2024? It is Coal India Limited. And this significant event not only celebrated the Coal India Limited's remarkable contribution to the nation's energy over the past 5 decades, but also laid the foundation for the future initiatives. Right? Next, and this was the 50th Foundation Day, right, celebrated at their headquarter of Coal India Limited, that is in Kolkata, West Bengal. Next, SEBI has directed all the qualified stockbrokers to offer either the facility of trading in the secondary market using the UPI block mechanism or 3-in-1 trading account facility to the investors, to the traders. Question asked here is that when this will facility come into effect? This facility will be coming into effect from 1st of February 2025, right? From 1st of Feb 2025, this will be coming into effect. Next, which bank organization has recently released the report Own Sources of Revenue Generation in Municipal Corporation, Opportunities and Challenges? So this has been released by RBI, Reserve Bank of India. And this report analyzed the budgetary data of 232 MNCs covering over 90% of India's total municipal corporations, right? Not MNCs, municipal corporations. Next, which country has recently initiated the first ever electricity with an export of up to 40 megawatt hydropower to Bangladesh by utilizing India's electricity grid? See, this is Nepal, this is our India, and here it is Bangladesh. So Nepal is generating electricity using hydropower. Then they will be transporting this electricity to Bangladesh, and for this the electricity grids will be used of our India. So India is acting as a mediator where they will be helping to transport the electricity generated in Nepal using hydropower to Bangladesh using the electricity grid of India. So right option, which country has initiated the first ever electricity export? It is of Nepal. Next is who has been recently crowned Miss Universe 2024 at the 73rd edition of Miss Universe that was held in Mexico. So Maria Victoria Thelvig, right, 21. She is from Denmark and she has been crowned as the Miss Universe 2024 during the 73rd edition of Miss Universe held in Mexico. Riya Singh of Gujarat, she secured the 30th position here. Next, who has been recently appointed as the 17th Prime Minister of Sri Lanka? So Harini Amrisurya has been appointed as the 17th Prime Minister of Sri Lanka. Next, who has recently sworn in as the 15th Comptroller and Auditor General of India? So, K. Sanjay Murthy, a 1989 batch IAS officer of Himachal Pradesh cadre, has been appointed as the 15th Comptroller and Auditor General of India. He will succeed whom? He will be succeeding Girish Chandra Murmu. Next, which satellite recently launched by SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket in Florida, USA? It was GSAT 20. Correct. This satellite is developed by New Space India Limited. This is the commercial arm of ISRO, and this is the first collaboration between NSIL and SpaceX. Next, in which state DRDO has recently conducted the flight trial of India's first long-range hypersonic missile? So this hypersonic or long-range hypersonic missile was tested in Odisha at ITR Odisha. Right, then remember that was in ITR, or you can say where was this? Not at ITR, it was tested at the Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Island in Odisha. Right, and this hypersonic missile can travel at a speed of 5 Mach. Mach is the speed of sound. 1 Mach is equal to the speed of sound. 5 Machs, 5 times the speed of sound. According to the 24th edition of the Periodic Labour Force Survey Quarterly Bulletin, the unemployment rate in the urban areas has decreased from 6.6% to 6.4% in the second quarter of FY25. Right, the unemployment rate among the females that are aged 15 years and above has decreased to 8.4% in the second quarter of FY25. That was 8.6% in the same quarter, that is the second quarter of FY24. Whereas if we talk about the unemployment rate in the case of males aged 15 years and above, it has decreased from 6% to 5.7% as compared to last year's second quarter. Next, who has recently launched the Grievance Redressal Assessment and Index, that is GRAI 2023. It was launched during the National Workshop on Effective Redressal of Public Grievances that was held in New Delhi. So right option is Jitendra Singh. Correct. He has launched this Grievance Redressal Assessment and Index 2023. Now if we talk about this, remember this workshop, it was organized by whom? It was organized by DARPG, that is your Department of Administrative Reforms and Public Grievances. The first edition of GRAI was launched in 2022, right? And this GRAI, it is the third edition of this that was launched. Next, which company has recently partnered with Atal Innovation Mission of Niti Aayog to launch its fourth cohort of Community Innovators Fellows? So, right option is Cape Gemini. They have recently partnered with Atal Innovation Mission of Niti Aayog, right? And this is aimed at fostering innovation and empowering the local innovators to create a sustainable solutions for their communities. Each fellow here will be receiving a grant of 1 lakh rupees. 1 lakh rupees to carry out their innovation. Next, which cluster has recently joined the World Economic Forum's Transitioning Industrial Cluster Initiative to drive economic growth, create jobs and reduce carbon dioxide emissions? It is AM Green Kakinda cluster. Correct. So this is the cluster that has joined the World Economic Forum Transitioning Industrial Cluster Initiative. Here AM Green Kakinda cluster, it will represent an investment of $3 billion. It is projected to create more than 10,000 direct and indirect jobs. This operation will begin in 2026 with the aim of zero carbon dioxide emissions. Which of the following national parks was recently notified as the 56th Tiger Reserve of India? Also remember, recently Prime Minister has congratulated the conservation efforts of tiger as the population of tiger in India is rising, right? And also coming back, the national parks, right? We are talking about it. So which is the 56th national park of India? It is Guru Ghasidas Tamor Pingla Tiger Reserve, right? That is the 56th Tiger Reserve now. Where it is located? It is located in the state of Chhattisgarh. Right? Take a note of this. Where is it located? Chhattisgarh. And now it has also become the third largest Tiger Reserve of India. Right? Which is the largest Tiger Reserve if we talk about? This is your homework. Largest Tiger Reserve of India. Tell me. Also tell me the state where this largest Tiger Reserve is located. Name the portal that was launched during the India Water Week 2024 held from 17th to 20th of September in New Delhi. The name here is Bhu Neer. Bhu Neer portal. Portal means a website. It was launched by Chandrakant Raghunath Patil, our Union Minister of Jal Shakti, and he digitally launched this Bhu Neer portal during the closing ceremony of the 8th edition of the India Water Week that was held from 17th to 20th of September. Where was it held? At Bharat Mandapam in New Delhi. This Bhu Neer portal, it was developed by Central Groundwater Authority under the Ministry of Jal Shakti in collaboration with NIC, that is your National Informatics Center. This platform will be a one-stop solution that will be measuring and regulating your groundwater resources. This will maintain transparency, efficiency and sustainability. According to the Climate Change Performance Index 2025, India was ranked what with an overall score of 67.99 on a list of over 60 countries. So India was ranked here 10th in the Climate Change Performance Index. Right? This index has left the first three places empty as no country has performed well enough that they can be placed in an overall category of very high in the top three. Which is the fourth position here? Fourth position was secured by Denmark. Fifth position was secured by Netherlands, right? And on 10th position was our India, right? So take a note of this. Also remember this Climate Change Performance Index for 2025. Where was this released? This was released during the COP29 summit that was held where? It was held in Baku, Azerbaijan. Next, who has been recently honored with the Indira Gandhi Peace Prize for Disarmament Development? I repeat, who has been recently honored with the Indira Gandhi Prize for Peace, Disarmament and Development 2023 along with Ali Abu Awad. So Ali Abu Awad was honored and along with him who? Daniel Barenboim. Right? They both were honored here. Correct? If we talk about Daniel Barenboim, he is a very world famous pianist and a conductor, whereas Ali Abu Awad, he is a Palestinian peace activist. They both were honored Indira Gandhi Prize for Peace, Disarmament and Development 2023. Right? Take a note of this. Next is who was recently appointed as the Prime Minister of Uzbekistan. So Abdul Nigamtovich Aripov has been appointed as the new Prime Minister of Uzbekistan, and this is for the third consecutive term. Next, who has been recently re-elected as the Prime Minister of Japan? So Shigeru Ishiba has been re-elected as the Prime Minister of Japan. Which country's hockey team has recently won the Women's Asian Championship Trophy 2024? So it is our India's women's hockey team that has won the Women's Asian Championship Trophy 2024. We defeated we defeated China in the final, and this marks India's third Women's Asians Championship Trophy title. Also, this was the 8th edition of the Women's Asians Trophy Championship title that was held where? It was held in Bihar. Next, who has recently retired from professional tennis after Davis Cup finals in Malaga, Spain? So Rafael Nadal, right? He is from Spain first thing. He plays which sports? He plays tennis, right? And Rafael Nadal in Davis Cup was the final event where he participated. Davis Cup was also held in Spain only, but now he has taken retirement. Next, which anniversary has been recently celebrated with the release of a commemorative stamp in honor of Vattal Temple? So, which anniversary has been celebrated? It was the 200th anniversary of the Vattal Temple, during which a special stamp was also released to honor the role of Sri Swaminarayan Sampradaya. Right, this temple serves as a spiritual capital of the Sri Swaminarayan Sampradaya. Next is where was the first Asian Buddhist summit held from 5th to 6th of November 2024. So it was held in New Delhi. Right, the theme of the summit was role of Buddha Dhamma in strengthening Asia. And here President of India Draupadi Murmu ma'am was the chief guest. Next, who has been recently re-elected as the President of World Sailing? So Lee Kuan Hai, right, was re-elected as the President of World Sailing for a 4-year term. Which country has recently become 104th full member of International Solar Alliance? It was initiated in 2015 by India and France, and recently Which is the country that became the 104th member of International Solar Alliance? It is Armenia. Next, which bank has recently partnered with UNICEF to enhance the disaster resilience and climate risk management through the initiative Disaster Resilient Communities and Climate Risk Informed Efficient Administrative System? So, which bank? It is IndusInd Bank. They have recently partnered with UNICEF. Next, which organization has recently signed an implementation agreement with Australian Space Agency for strengthening the cooperation in space activities between both the countries? So, which is it? It is Indian Space Research Organization, that is ISRO. They have signed this implementation agreement. It was with Australian Space Agency, right? And it is to work on the space activities together. Basically, here they both organizations will be working on the Gaganyaan mission, that will be the country's first human space flight program. Next, name the China's first commercial uncrewed space plane that was recently unveiled at the Zhuhai Air Show in China. It is Skydragon. Correct. Next, who is the author of the book Ma Mother that was recently released by Law and Justice Minister Arjun Ram Meghwal? So, Dr. Devendra Kumar Dodhawat. Right, he is Arjun. This book is authored by Dr. Devendra Kumar Dodhawat, the additional secretary to the government of Kerala. And this book basically contains the illustration of motherhood in the form of poems that are written both in Hindi and English. Next is, according to Sustainable Trade Index 2024, what was the rank of India globally with an overall score of 24 out of 100? So, India stood at 23rd position in the Sustainable Trade Index. As per the Sustainable Trade Index, New Zealand emerged as the most sustainable country for the third consecutive time. Next, which bank has recently signed a memorandum of understanding with Maldives Monetary Authority for establishing a framework to promote the ease or the use of local currency for the cross-border transactions? So, between India and Maldives, the local currencies will be promoted, use will be promoted in local currency, trade will be done in local currencies. So, which bank has recently signed an MOU? It is Reserve Bank of India that has signed this MOU with the Maldivian Monetary Authority. Next, which bank has recently partnered with the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare along with Bharat Financial Inclusion Limited to launch Bharat Sanjeevani Krishi Uttham initiative? So, for this, launching this Bharat Sanjeevani Krishi Uttham initiative, which bank has partnered with Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare? It is IndusInd Bank Limited. Right? A memorandum of understanding was signed for this collaboration that was signed by Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare between BFIL, that is Bharat Financial Inclusion Limited, IBL, right, and IndusInd Bank. Next, who has recently took over as the president of FICCI for 24-25? So, Harsha Vardhan Agarwal has been appointed as the president of FICCI. He will be succeeding whom? He will be succeeding Anish Shahahat. Next, which country has recently celebrated 75 years of diplomatic relations with India? So, Philippines has recently celebrated 75 years of diplomatic relations with India. Next, who has recently inaugurated 125th birth anniversary celebration of Utkal Kesari Dr. Hari Krishna Mehtab in New Delhi? So, Draupadi Murmu ma'am. He also here Dr. Hari Krishna Mehtab also received Sahitya Academy Award in 1983. Next, the Network Readiness Index published by the Portulans Institute and Said Business School at the University of Oxford has ranked Dash country as the world leader in the network readiness. So, which country has been emerged as the world leader in the network readiness? It is USA, United States of America. Singapore was ranked second, followed by Finland at the third position. Next, according to the State of the World's Children report, a global flagship report of UNICEF titled The Future of Childhood in a Changing World, the global child population will stabilize at around how much? So, global child population will be stabilizing at 2.3 billion and in 2050. Next, in November, SEBI issued a circular abolishing the earlier requirement mandating issuer companies to deposit dash of the public issue size with stock exchanges before launching the public issue. So SEBI issued a circular abolishing the earlier requirements mandating issuer companies to deposit 1% of the public issue size with stock exchanges before launching the public issue. Next, RBI increased the maximum transaction limit for UPI 123 Pay from 5,000 rupees to it has been increased to 10,000 rupees with effect from 1st of January 2025. And for UPI Lite, the UPI wallets limit has also been increased from 2,000 rupees to 5,000 rupees. Next, who has recently been honored with the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Global Peace Award for Minority Upliftment in Maryland, USA. So, who recently honored here? Narendra Modi was honored here with this Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Global Peace Award for working towards the upliftment of minority communities in India. Next, who has been recently appointed as the Prime Minister of Lithuania? So, Gintautas Palukas has recently been appointed as the Prime Minister of Lithuania. Next, which company has recently completed the 9th human spaceflight and 28th flight for New Shepard program? It is Blue Origin. Take a note of it. Next, which news magazine has recently organized the 6th edition of Sahitya Aastak, a prestigious literary festival in New Delhi? It is India Today. Correct? And remember, Draupadi Murmu ma'am, correct, she graced the 6th edition of this Sahitya Aastak, a prestigious literary festival organized by India Today Group. This was held at the Major Dhyan Chand National Stadium in New Delhi. Next, where was the 11th edition of the Asian Defence Ministers Meet Plus held from 20 to 22nd of November 2024? It was held in Vientiane, Lao, PDR. Next, in November, RBI infused how much fund? So, RBI has infused funds worth 25,000 crore rupees through variable repo rate into the banking system so that the risk decreases. Next, or we can say in order to provide liquidity. Next, which bank has recently become a signatory to the Partnership for Carbon Accounting Financials? It is PNB, Punjab National Bank, right? New Delhi based PNB became a signatory to the Partnership for Carbon Accounting Financials. Their commitment to climate responsibility and sustainability. Apart from this, PNB, they have disclosed their financial emissions in the FY24 Business Sustainability Report, correct, that they are using this PCAF standard. Also, it was Union Bank of India that became the first bank to adopt this PCAF framework. Which book has recently won the 7th edition of the JCB Prize for Literature? It is Lorenzo Searches for the Meaning of Life. It has recently won the 7th edition of the JCB Prize for Literature. Next, who has recently won the Kamala Devi Chattopadhyay National Innovation Foundation Book Prize for 2024? Ashok Gopal has won the Kamala Devi Chattopadhyay National Innovation Foundation Book Prize for 2024. Next, who has been recently elected as the 43rd President of Uruguay? So, Yamandu Ramon Antonio Orsi Martin has been appointed as the 43rd President of Uruguay. Next, which country has recently won the Davis Cup 2024? That was held in Spain. So, Italy has won this title. This was 112th edition of the Davis Cup, and during this event, it was the last event for Rafael Nadal. Next, where was the world's largest coral been recently discovered? So, in the Solomon Islands of Pacific Ocean, world's largest coral has been discovered. This mega coral is 32 meters long and 34 meters wide. So that's all for and also remember these corals, this coral is expected to be around 300 years of age. So that's all for the day, students. Now let's move to some revision part that will be beneficial in your learning. Next, in July, Union Minister of State Arjun Ram Meghwal awarded the President's Police Medal for Distinguished Service and Indian Police Medal for Meritorious Service to 39 dash officers. So these were awarded to 39 CBI officers, that is Central Bureau of Investigation officers. Next, which of the following are correct with respect to the Gallantry Awards that were conferred by President Draupadi Murmu ma'am on 5th of July? If we look at the option A and B are right, C is wrong. C saying that Shaurya Chakra is the fourth highest peacetime gallantry award after the Ashok Chakra, Paramveer Chakra and Kirti Chakra. Is it correct? So no, Shaurya Chakra is not the fourth highest peacetime gallantry award, but this is the third highest peacetime gallantry award after Ashoka Chakra and Paramveer Chakra. Second highest is Kirti. Sorry, I correct myself. Third highest is Shaurya Chakra. Second highest is Kirti Chakra, and which is the highest? It is Ashoka Chakra is the highest. Next, which of the following points are correct with respect to the winners of the 2024 International Maritime Organization Award for exceptional bravery at sea? If we look at the options, option A and B are right, C is wrong. C is saying that Captain George Fernando Galaves Fuentes and the crew of the tugboat Baljeet were also announced as the winners here. So it is correct, option C. Right? Is it right here? No, the name of the tugboat is wrongly mentioned. It is Pimex Maya. Right, now the options are correct. Next, who has recently received the Pat Tillman Award 2024 for service at the Excellence in Sports Performance Yearly Awards? So Prince Harry has received the Pat Tillman Award for service at Excellence in Sports Performance Yearly Awards. Next, who has recently won the Golden Sands Masters Award with a gold medal at the International Sand Sculpture Championship Festival held in Russia? So Sudarshan Patnaik, right? He won the Golden Sand Masters Award with the gold medal at the International Sand Sculpture Championship or Festival that was held in Russia. Also remember, he has been honored with Padma Shri in 2014 for the contribution towards sand arts. Next, who was recently awarded with the 2024 Commitment on Space Research Harry Massey Award during the 45th COSPAR Scientific Assembly that was held in Busan, South Africa? So who was recently awarded here? Prahlad Chandra Agarwal. Correct. Prahlad Chandra Agarwal was awarded during the 45th COSPAR Scientific Assembly that is being held in Busan, South Korea from 13th to 21st of July. Next, the Chandrayaan 3 mission team won the prestigious World Space Award 2024 that was presented by Dash for its significant contributions to space exploration. So Chandrayaan 3 mission team won the prestigious World Space Award for 2024 presented by IAF, that is International Astronautical Federation, for their significant contributions to space exploration. Next, who has been recently honored with the Olympic Order by the International Olympic Committee for his outstanding contribution to the Olympic movement? Abhinav Bindra. Correct, very famous Indian shooter, right? And he is the first Indian to win an individual gold at the Olympics and has been honored with the Olympic Order by IOC for his outstanding contributions to the Olympic movement. This ceremony was during the, he was awarded during the ceremony of the event that was 142nd IOC session that was held in Paris, France. Next, who recently became the second Indian after Mahatma Gandhi to be honored with customized gold coins by the Gravin Museum in Paris, France? So right option is very famous actor Shah Rukh Khan. Next, who has recently honored with the officer, that is your officer of the arts of the officer of the Order of Arts and Letters by French government to recognize his contributions to Indo-French Artistic Corporation? So who has recently honored with this award? He was Rahab Alana. Right, Rahab Alana. Correct, and this is for his recognizing his outstanding career as a curator of contemporary South Asian photography and his contribution to Indo-French Artistic Corporation. He was ordered with this, or he was honored with this, officer of the Order of Arts and Letters. Next, Town Official Language Implementation Committee has recently honored the PSU located in the Visakhapatnam, Andhra Pradesh with Dash for their outstanding performance in official language implementation. So the town official language implementation committee, they have honored the PSU in Vishakhapatnam, Andhra Pradesh with Rajbhasha Gaurav Samman Award for their outstanding performance in the official language implementation. Next, on the occasion of Nelson Mandela's 106th birth anniversary, that was on 18th of July, Dash and Victor Gonzalez Torres received the prestigious Gandhi Mandela Award 2020. So, on the occasion of Nelson Mandela's 106th birth anniversary, that was on 18th of July, Rigberto Menchu Tum, Rigberto Menchu Tum and Victor Gonzalez Torres, they have received the prestigious Gandhi Mandela Award 2020. This was basically on 106th birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi. Oh, sorry, Nelson Mandela's birth anniversary. That was 18th of July 2024. And this award is presented to basically make sure that the people are following and spreading the ideas of Mahatma Gandhi and Nelson Mandela. Next, who has recently conferred with the Lifetime Achievement Award during the 2024 International Meet of Leading Medical Celebrities, Professionals and Medicos that was held in Chennai, Tamil Nadu. So Dr. Jitendra Singh, right, he has been conferred with this Lifetime Achievement Award during the 2024 International Meet of the Leading Medical Celebrities, Professionals and Medicos held in Chennai, Tamil Nadu. Name the project that was recently launched by the Indian Army to provide support and services to the defense pensioners, veterans, and their families. What is the name of that project? The project is Naman. Right? Project Naman. This project Naman will focus on the implementation of various systems for pension administration Rakshak. That is your SPARSH. What is SPARSH? System for Pension Administration Rakshak. This is a digital pension system that will streamline all the processes that are related to pension. Next, which organization has recently signed an airframer contract with Safal Helicopters Engines Private Limited to develop and supply a helicopter engine by the name Aravali? So, name of the helicopter engine Aravali. So, which organization has signed this airframer contract with Safal Helicopters Limited? It is your Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, that is HAL. And this engine, it has been named after the Aravali mountain ranges. Next, name the bilateral naval exercise between India and France that was held in Mediterranean Sea from 2nd to 4th of September 2024. So what is the name of that bilateral exercise? The exercise is Exercise Varuna. Right? Then this exercise Varuna, it is the 22nd edition of this exercise held between India and France. Take a note of this. Right? And in this, from Indian side, INS Tabar took part in this exercise. Next, name the aerospace company that has recently achieved the successful maiden flight of the India's first indigenous unmanned bomber aircraft, that is FWD 200B. So what is the name of that company? That is Flying Wedge Defense and Aerospace. This aircraft is classified as a medium altitude long endurance, that is MALE unmanned aerial vehicle, and it has a wingspan of 5 meters and a length of 3.5 meters. It can fly at a cruising speed of 152 km per hour with a maximum speed of almost 250 km per hour. Next is in September, India successfully launched Agni 4 missile from the integrated test range in Chandipur, Odisha. That is Agni 4. It belongs to which type of missile? So this Agni 4, this is a intercontinental ballistic missile, and it was India that has successfully tested this Agni 4 missile from the ITR in Chandipur, Odisha. This Agni 4, this is a surface to surface ballistic missile that has a range of 4,000 kilometers. Next, which shipbuilding company has recently launched two indigenously designed and constructed anti-submarine warfare shallow watercraft named the INS Malpe and INS Mulki? So which is that shipbuilding company? It is Cochin Shipyard Limited that has developed this 4th and 5th of the 8 anti-submarine warfare shallow watercraft project. 4th is INS Malpe and the 5th is INS Mulki. Next, name the military exercise between India and USA that has recently commenced at the Foreign Training Node in Rajasthan. What is the name of that exercise? The exercise is Yudh Abhyas. right? And it will run till 22nd of September 2024. This is the 19th edition of this Yudh Abhyas exercise held in Alaska, USA. Right? I repeat, this the 19th edition. I repeat, one more thing, correction here. The 19th edition of Yudh Abhyas was held in Alaska, USA. But this time, this is the 20th edition of this exercise that we are talking about, that was held where in Rajasthan. Next, which defense company has recently signed a contract worth 26,000 crore rupees with the Ministry of Defense for the procurement of 240 AL-31FP aero engines for Sukhoi 30 Mark 1 aircraft of the Indian Air Force? So, which is the defense company? It is Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. Next, name the country where Indian Navy's P-8I aircraft recently reached to participate in the 16th edition of exercise Kakandu. So, what is the country where Indian Navy's aircraft reach? It is Australia, right? Then in this exercise, more than 3,000 personals over 32 nations took part. Next is name the missile that the Indian Navy and DRDO successfully tested in flight from the launch pad of the ITR in Chandipur off the coast of Odisha. What is the name of that missile? That is VLSRSCM, that is Vertical Launch Short Range Surface to Air Missile. Next is name the joint exercise that was recently conducted between Indian Air Force and Royal Oman Air Force in Oman. What is the name of that exercise? The exercise is Eastern Bridge. And this bilateral exercise began on 11th of September and it will end on 22nd of September. Also remember the 5th edition of Al-Naja exercise held between Indian Army and Royal Army of Oman. Right, so air exercise is Eastern Bridge and the exercise between the armies is Al-Naja. Next, Ministry of Defense, they approved the Indian Navy's 2,500 crore rupees plan to develop what? It was to develop the extra large unmanned underwater vessel. The vessels are expected to strengthen India's defense against enemy submarines and surface vessels. Next, which city has recently hosted the Indian Defence Aviation Expo, that is IDAX 2024? So it is Jodhpur, Rajasthan, where Jodhpur, Rajasthan, that is Jodhpur is the city where it hosted the Indian Defence Aviation Expo 2024. Also, Tarang Shakti exercise was concluded here. Tarang Shakti is one of the largest India's first multinational air exercise hosted by our Indian Air Force. Next, name the state-of-the-art Kalvari submarine escape training facility that was recently commissioned by the Indian Navy at INS Satwana in Visakhapatnam, Andhra Pradesh. So, recently, what is the name of that facility? It is Vinitra. Next is students, science and technology. Which company has recently launched Sentinel-2C satellite aboard last Vega rocket for environmental monitoring? The name of the company is Aerospace. This satellite, it will serve as the Earth observation satellite for the European Union, which will provide important data for the environmental, correct, or we can say important data for the environment monitoring. Next, name the India's first space station which will be launched by 2028 by ISRO. So India's space station, it is Bharatiya Antariksh Space Station, and the entire setup will have 5 modules. First module will be launched in 2028 and it is expected by 2035 India will have our own space station. Next, which company has recently announced plans to set up India's first multi-sensor all-weather high revisit Earth observation satellite constellation? What is the name of that organization? It is Naib Space Private Limited. Right? It aims to promote India's defense and space capabilities that will promote self-reliance in the defense sector. And also you will be seeing with this in the coming 5 to 6 year 40 low Earth orbit satellites will have, or the constellation will have 40 to 50 satellites here in the next 5 to 6 years. Next, name the SpaceX crew mission that has recently led by an American billionaire entrepreneur Jared Isaacman returned to Earth following the successful completion of the world's first private spacewalk. So who did the first private spacewalk? Jared Isaacman. Right, he led this mission and it is the mission of spacewalk. Question asked here is that what is the name of that SpaceX crew mission? So the mission's name is Polaris Dawn. Next, who has been recently appointed as the chairman of Central Board of Direct Taxes, that is CBDT. So Ravi Agarwal, right? Ravi Agarwal has been appointed as the new chairman of CBDT, and he is a 1988 batch IRS officer. He will be succeeding Nitin Gupta. Next, who recently took charge as the 30th Chief of Army Staff of the Indian Army? So, Upendra Dwivedi. I repeat, Lieutenant General Upendra Dwivedi, the former Vice Chief of Army Staff, took charge as the 30th Chief of Army Staff of the Indian Army. He will succeed whom? He will be succeeding General Manoj Pandey. Next, who was recently appointed as the first female Chief Secretary of Maharashtra? So, Sujata Sonik, right? A 1987 batch IAS officer of Maharashtra cadre has become the first women Chief Secretary of Maharashtra. She will be here for 1 year before retiring till June 2025. Next, who has been recently selected as the 27th chairman of State Bank of India by FSIB? So CSAT has been appointed as the new chairman of State Bank of India, and he will be succeeding whom? He will be succeeding Dinesh Kumar Khara. Next, who has recently elected as the chairperson of the World Customs Organization? So Edward Kieswetter, right, has been elected as the new chairperson of the World Customs Organization. Next, who has been recently appointed as the 46th Chief Secretary of Odisha State? So Manoj Jain has been appointed as the 46th Chief Secretary of Odisha State. Next, who has been recently appointed as the Chief Secretary of Uttar Pradesh? Siddharth, I correct myself, who has been appointed as the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh? Manoj Kumar Singh has been appointed as the new Chief Secretary of Uttar Pradesh. Next, who has been recently appointed as the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of LIC? So, right option here is Siddharth Mohanty. Right, he has been appointed as Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of LIC. Right, next. In July, Puma India named Indian cricketers Nitesh Kumar Reddy and Dash as their brand ambassadors. So, Riyan Parag. Puma India has named Indian cricketers Nitesh Kumar Reddy and Riyan Parag as their brand ambassadors. Next, who has been recently appointed as the Chief Justice of Jharkhand High Court? So, Justice Dr. Bidyut Ranjan Sarangi, right, has been appointed as the Chief Justice of Jharkhand High Court. And he will be succeeding whom? He will be succeeding Justice Shri Chandrasekhar. Next, who has recently sworn in as the 13th Chief Minister of Jharkhand? So, who has recently sworn in as the 13th Chief Minister of Jharkhand? Hemant Soren. Correct. Who is the Governor of Jharkhand? CP Radhakrishnan. Right, and this is for the third time that Hemant Soren has been appointed as the Chief Minister of Jharkhand. Next, who has recently been appointed as the 58th Prime Minister of UK? So, Keir Starmer has been appointed as the 58th Prime Minister of United Kingdom, and he is from Labour Party. Next, who has been recently appointed as the 66th Chief Justice of the High Court of Punjab and Haryana? So, Justice Sheel Nagu. Right, Justice Sheel Nagu has been appointed as the 66th Chief Justice of High Court of Punjab and Haryana. Next, who has been recently appointed as the interim Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Bandhan Bank Limited? So, right option is Ratan Kumar Kesh. Right, Ratan Kumar Kesh has been appointed as the interim Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Bandhan Bank Limited. He will succeed whom? He is set to succeed Chandrasekhar Ghosh. Next, who has been recently reappointed as the chairman and managing director of India Energy Exchange Limited for 3 years with effect from 10th of August. So, who has been reappointed as the chairman and managing director of Indian Energy Exchange Limited? So, Satyanarayan Goel has been reappointed as the chairman and managing director of IEX, and he will be in this position for the next 3 years. Next, who has been recently appointed as the managing director and chief executive officer of Utkarsh Small Finance Bank Limited? So, Govind Singh, right, has been appointed as managing director and chief executive officer of Utkarsh Small Finance Bank Limited. Next, the 16th Finance Commission constituted a 5-member advisory council and appointed Dash as the convener of the council. So, Poonam Gupta, right? So, 16th Finance Commission has constituted a 5-member advisory council and appointed Poonam Gupta as the convener here. Correct? Next, who has been recently appointed as the principal advisor at the Union Territory of Health and Family Welfare for National Tuberculosis Elimination Program? So, Soumya Swaminathan, right, has been appointed as the principal advisor to Ministry of Health and Family Welfare for the National Tuberculosis Elimination Program. Next, who has been recently appointed as the managing director and chief executive officer of Paytm Payments Bank Limited? Arun Kumar Bansal has been appointed as managing director and chief executive officer of Paytm Payments Bank Limited. He will succeed whom? He will be succeeding Surendra Chawla. He will be succeeding Surendra Chawla. Next, who has been recently appointed as the new Prime Minister of Nepal, succeeding Pushpa Kamal Dahal Prachanda? So, KP Sharma Oli has been appointed as the new Prime Minister of Nepal, and he will be succeeding Pushpa Kamal Dahal Prachanda. Right? Next, who has been recently appointed as the chairman and managing director of Bharat Sanchar Nigam Limited? So, Robert Gerard Ravi has been appointed as the chairman and managing director of BSNL. Correct? And he will be replacing whom? He will be replacing Praveen Kumar Purwar. Correct? Next, who has been recently appointed as the co-chair of the Alliance of CEO Climate Leaders? So, Sumant Sinha has been appointed as the co-chair of the Alliance of the CEO Climate Leaders. Correct? Take a note of this. And Sinha has been the co-chair of India, part of the alliance since 2022. And he joins a group of international business leaders in this role, collaborating with various figures globally. Correct? Take a note of this. Also remember, this Alliance of CEO Climate Leaders, this is a flagship event of World Economic Forum that was launched in 2014, and it is the largest CEO-led climate alliance in the world. Next, who has been recently re-elected as the President of European Parliament till 2027? So, Roberta Metsola has been re-elected as the President of European Parliament till 2027, and she became the first woman to win a second term as the President of European Parliament. Next, who has been recently elected as the President of Rwanda? So, Paul Kagame has been elected as the President of Rwanda. Next, which bank has recently received the nod from RBI for the reappointment of Kadambili Paul Thomas as Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the bank for the next 3 years? So, this is which bank? It is your ESAF Small Finance Bank. Next, who has been recently appointed as the Group Chief Executive Officer of HSBC Holding PLC? Right option is George L. Hedry. Right, has been appointed as the Group Chief Executive Officer of HSBC Holding PLC, and he is the third CEO of HSBC Holding PLC in the less than 8 years. Next, who recently got a 3-month tenure extension from the Appointments Committee of the Cabinet to continue as the Chairman and Managing Director of the NHPC Limited. So Rajendra Prasad Goyal, he got 3 months extension, correct, from ACC to continue as the Chairman and Managing Director of NHPC Limited. Next, who has been recently appointed as the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Federal Bank Limited for a period of 3 years with effect from 23rd of September 2024. So KV Subramaniam, correct, he has been appointed as MD and CEO of Federal Bank for the next 3 years, and he will replace whom? He will be replacing Shyam Srinivasan. Next, who has been recently appointed as the new Prime Minister of Estonia? So right option here is Christian Michael has been appointed as the new Prime Minister of Estonia. Next, who has recently become an acting president of Myanmar? So Min Aung Hlaing has become the acting president of Myanmar. Next, who has recently assumed the charge of Chairman and Managing Director of Broadcast Engineering Consultant India Limited? So DK Murali, he assumed the charge as the Chairman and Managing Director of Broadcast Engineers Consultants India Limited. He has also served in Indian Navy for nearly 35 years and he was commissioned in November 1989. Next, who has been recently re-elected as the International Olympic Committee member from India? So Neeta Mukesh Ambani, right? She is the founder of Reliance Foundation and has been re-elected for the second term as the member of International Olympic Committee from India. She received 100% of the votes at the 142nd IOC session that was held from 22nd to 24th of July in Paris, France, and she became the first Indian woman or first woman from India to join IOC in 2016. Next, who has recently been appointed as the Festival Director of the 55th and 56th editions of the International Film Festival of India held in Goa? So Shekhar Kulbhushan Kapoor has been appointed as the Festival Director of the 55th and 56th editions of International Film Festival of India that was held in Goa.